Alright, so I'm going to be reviewing the third movie, which is Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, which came out, I believe in 1993, and this is when New Line Cinema got a hold of the series. I'm trying to remember. I know the first movie was released by a small company. I'm not sure. Excuse me. I'm not sure what the company is called. This DVD is from Pioneer Studios. Um, and then this one, number 2, is from NGM. And I know at that time, I think Toby Hooper had a deal with Canon Films, because I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was originally part of the Canon label, and he had a deal with them. But anyways, yeah, New Line Cinemas got the rights to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, so this movie is supposed to be a reboot. So the first 2 movies are the only ones that connect to each other, and then this movie is a total reboot. And it's about this brother and sister. They're driving across Texas, and they they go to this gas station, and it's owned by these brothers, and one of them's like a creep. Like, his name is Alfredo. I always remember that because I always think about the Alfredo sauce. But he's like looking at the sister when she's in the toilet, because he had made like a peephole in the wall. So he watches the sister like when she's using the bathroom, and then the Viggo Mortensen plays Alfredo's brother, and you think, oh, he's like the same one. He like catches him watching her using the bathroom, so he like beats him up, throws him outside, and he's like, "You guys need to leave." You know, he's like being creepy and stuff, so they leave. And their car breaks down, and they get meet up with by another member of the Sawyer family. I forgot his name, but he has like a mechanical arm and stuff. He's like the one who like makes he's like a mechanic, and he's like, oh, I can help you guys out or whatever. And they get captured by this family, and they have to escape. Um, there's sorry, out of all out of the original 4 movies, this one's okay. Like, it's like an okay movie to watch. Like, I don't remember that much about it. I remember most of the death scenes, and I remember like because this one's unrated, R-rated, unrated, so I've seen both versions. Um, but uh, there's a character. Ken Foray plays a character who's like, a survivalist, so he's like loaded with guns and all that. And she meets up with him like when she's running around and stuff, and he comes back to help her. And I thought that was cool that they got Ken Foray, because he's kind of a staple in the horror genre. He's most well known for being the main character, the black character that survives in Dawn of the Dead, and he was also in the Halloween remake. He was the Joe Grizzly, the guy who got stabbed in the bathroom by Michael. Um, uh, I like the guy who plays Leatherface in this movie, R.A. Maloff. He did a pretty good job. I forgot the guy who played Leatherface in the second movie. He wasn't that good. I didn't really like him. I like Gunnar Hansen. I think he did the best job. But R.A. Maloff, he did a really great job too. He's very like he kind of reminds me of like Kane Hodder. He's like very like, he breathes heavy, he moves really fast. Like, he just, or moves like that. Yeah, he just has like a very aggressive tone to him. Um, some of the family members were kind of creepy, like Alfredo. He's just a weird character. There's like a scene where like they make him go outside, like the family makes him go outside, and like he's like disposing of body parts, and he's getting mad. He's like, I fucking hate them, and blah blah blah. And like he takes a head out of a bag and starts kissing it and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? It's like, and I think that's when Ken Foray comes up and starts attacking him. Uh, there's like I said, there's like the mechanic guy. You can't really see him, but he's the one right there. Sorry, right there. And then there's Viggo Mortensen's character, who kind of acts. He's kind of like Norman Bates. He kind of like acts like, oh, he's like the boy next door kind of thing, like the normal one. And then later on, he's like the weirdo. I don't know what he really is like in this movie, because he acts kind of effeminate. So like he like puts nail polish on his fingers and dresses up in aprons and stuff. So I don't know what that is. Then there's this little girl right here who is like really like psychotic and stuff. She has like a little baby doll. It's like she carries baby dolls around, and she's like, virgin and psychopath. Actually, her and the guy who plays the brother, I forgot his name. They both played in Friday the 13th Part 7. So that's kind of like a little reunion right there. And uh, but there's this like one cool scene where they have, the brother and the sister tied up, and they have the brother like hanging upside down. I guess they're brother and sister hanging upside down, and they get the little girl in there to go pull they like set up like this Rube Goldberg thing or whatever. They have like him hanging upside down, and then there's like a string attached to a hammer, a mallet kind of thing, and they get the little girl to pull it, and so it comes down and smacks him in the head. And that's like the goriest scene in the movie. It's on the unrated cut that it's more gorier. There's a scene where they have the woman tied down, and they stick nails in her hands and all that. And she has to break out, like pull her hands out through the nails. There's something with an oven. I think someone gets pushed into an oven. Oh, there's a funny scene where like Leatherface is hanging out in the shed, and he's playing like one of those little hooked on phonics toys thing. It's not hooked on phonics, but it's like this little things like they teach kids how to spell and say words, and they're like, spell this word, and I forgot what word it was, but he kept putting food in there, and they're like, no, that's not right. And then like he keeps doing it and keeps putting food in there, and then like this, he's starting getting mad. Then there's like the big old battle between Ken Foray and Leatherface, and I know they changed it in the unrated version, like, but in the theatrical cut, it made no sense. So they're fighting, and they fall into this like pond area where I'll say like Alfredo's disposing of the dead bodies. So Ken Foray and Leatherface, they start getting into a fight in the water, and you see like Leatherface chainsaw come up and hit him in the head, and you're like, oh, he's dead, because he goes underwater and doesn't come back up. So the girl, she escapes and she gets into a truck, and the brother with the mechanical arm, he comes up. Or was that Alfredo? It was one of them. He comes up and starts grabbing him, and she goes and she shoots him, and then she's about to go drive off, and then Ken Foray comes up, and all he has is like a little gash in his head, and I was like, what the fuck? Why they do that? And then you find out in the unrated cut, I think he actually he actually dies and he stays dead. But I know, like, I guess when they showed it to a test audience, they were mad about it, so they changed it to put him back in the movie. But yeah, it just didn't make no sense. Like, you see, like, the chainsaw go into his head, and then he goes underwater and doesn't come back up. But then he magically pops up with a small gash in his head. Um, and then, cause I know this is a reboot, but then you start getting like other Sawyer family characters you never seen, like, oh, you know, like Alfredo and the brother with a mechanical arm, and the Viggo Mortensen character. Like, they're not really part of the Sawyer family. And then you got some fat lady in there, and the little girl, which I'm guessing is supposed to be, people theorize as Leatherface's daughter. I don't know. Uh, uh, yeah. I know it's a reboot, but then this like started the trend where like different Leatherface people in the Leatherface or the Sawyer family keeps popping up. Yeah. Anyways, like I said, it's not like the best movie in the series. It's a good time waster. Like, I could watch it and I'm just fine with it. You know, it's like, it's just there. It's not bad, not good. But yeah, that's my review.